Okay, so we are above oversold and we have positive momentum on the 1 hour. A degree 1 will have potential to, on momentum that is, to move all the way to zero line and slightly above. So if you're going to move all the way to zero line and slightly above, you're taking out this red, this neckline, you're going to that major neckline. We just checked it, 156.3 starts at 155 or 156. All right, so we will do the monitoring on a daily basis because we want to make sure that we're following on the correction, how far it will go. Remember, our projections on the daily chart and on the weekly charts are showing that this may be not only a correction, but maybe a second head. We have a valid bounce at level 1. All right, sterling is a bit strong today, and therefore we can expect that this will be moving higher next week, assuming there's going to be some kind of sterling strength next week. We're broken out of the downtrending channel, of course. We can see this. It's always important to have all the information updated on the chart so that you can do spontaneous decisions very quickly. Now, in order to consider that the area structure is being confirmed with, it's very clear. You can see on that forward chart that we're just having ledges and are moving up in that Elliott structure. Elliott structures, degree 1 4 lines, are really the backbone of motive trends. They have to be there if the market then moves very quickly, and it becomes a very good opportunity to be in. So you can see that this respected that support. What's going up now respects this support. We're gonna hit that resistance, so we'll take it out gradually, at first going to 156, then spike to, first going to 155.8, then spike to 156.5. Check the momentum picture at that point on the 1 hour at that level, and on the 4 hours we can then decipher if this is just a shoulder. You're seeing a shoulder, so head now here, and the shoulders to the left are going to get shoulders to the right. So if we are at level 1 at that point on the 4 hours and the momentum is somehow convincing and strong on the 1 hour, even if it's corrective, we'll probably just do the shoulder and move higher, not a deep shoulder. If we do a deep shoulder, we'd have to investigate momentum very, very closely. All right, because that would be wave A, and we could get a deep B all the way down to that lower boundary of this ending diagonal. All right, so if you were not following, we'll just take a very quick look at the longer term technical pictures. We're most interested in this technical picture now. We're bouncing here, and remember, this is about to happen, so we have to be prepared for it next week. We're bouncing here. Yeah, we're bouncing 152.70. We're bouncing, actually we just did 152.70. We didn't go below that, so we bounced at an internal level 1. 155.70, 155.80 is key terminal point where you'd expect this kind of rejection. Of course, 155.70 could take you to 156, 156.30 at the most. So we'll take profits at that point next week. There's gonna, could be, this is level A, there's gonna be a level B, right? Maybe this is to will become bearish at that point, and you're just seeing heads and shoulders, and you're gonna attack the neckline again. If the momentum picture has improved on the daily, then there's just gonna be a bounce at 152.70 again on these kind of levels, and next time we're moving higher to 160 and 163. Let's take a look at the momentum on the daily, because it's very important to see the current evolution on the daily chart. Remember, we were looking at this momentum here to be doing like that last cycle, 1 2 and 3. So 1 2 and 3. Is that 3 coming in down into negative territory or not? You can't really tell, because we do have a zero line bounce, but could still reject that overbought. We would continue, of course, to monitor. The feed is very important. What you're seeing coming out of the 1 hour chart and momentum, and 4 hour, of course, feeds into the daily, would tell you if momentum is going to break above overbought or not. It's that simple. If we have, by a miracle, positive feed out of the 4 hours, we don't at this point, then there isn't going to be any correction at all at that green neckline. But we doubt this will happen, because of course we are going to be having a zero line rejection of 4 hours. There's going to be rejection here. First leg into 4B is a level A, then a B, and then we have to live with this, and therefore close out at 155.80, 156. There's going to be a correction. maybe just a shoulder, maybe a shorter head. It's possible to do a short if you have degree 3 momentum at the time. Maybe we just do longs if it is shallow correction into that head, into a right shoulder, and go up all the way next time, hopefully to 160. I would expect that everyone now envisions and is fully comprehends what we are saying, what we're talking about. All right, so you want to also look at the weekly chart. If we get that bounce correctly, we're going to 164 actually. We have to incorporate, just remind ourselves that this is the weekly chart. All right, we have a valid bounce through, but we could get very choppy action. That's why we need to be very resilient with monitoring momentum on the 4-hour charts, compare it with what's going on the 1 hour and what's going on the daily, because you can see all of these shoulder zones, you see this kind of structures is the same triggers that we're working with. True, at that point it was below overbought, now we're above overbought, should be better, but it's a very volatile issue, and even when it was all above overbought here, we did have very strong shoulder zone congestion. So you have to follow the momentum, we have to respect the momentum triggers, because we are retail traders. We cannot afford to risk money or lose profits that we have done or accumulated. All right, let's move on.